Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the digital shadows. We're teaming up with Cert Empire, your absolute go-to, trusted learning resource for IT certification and cybersecurity exam prep, to walk you step by step through a real-world cyber attack. Imagine a cinematic, high-stakes digital thriller, but, in real life. So you might be wondering, what does a cybersecurity analyst actually do all day? Is it just staring at green code raining down a black screen like in the movies? Well, not exactly. If you're a beginner curious about the field, we're going to look at cybersecurity not as some dry, abstract concept, but as a fast-paced, step-by-step cyber thriller. We're putting you right in the shoes of a security operations center analyst to see exactly how they dismantle a live threat. All right, let's set the scene. You're at work, just minding your own business, maybe sipping your morning coffee, right? Suddenly, an email hits your inbox. It's got your manager's name on it, asking you to download a PDF attachment for some payment details. But if you look closely, the wording is just a little off. Like, notice that weird hello friend greeting? But let's say you're rushing, so you download the PDF, click the website link inside, enter your login credentials, and bam, your system crashes. You're just staring blankly at the screen. Yep, you've just sprung a trap. Okay, let's dive into this, because what you just experienced is literally the most common entry point for cyber attacks today. It's called phishing. Phishing is a classic form of social engineering. Basically, it's a technique used to trick people into thinking they're interacting with someone they know, like your boss, when in reality, it's a total impersonation. For us security analysts, this is our bread and butter. We constantly have to stay on top of these deceptive tricks that target everyday users. So, jumping back to our story. Your screen has crashed, panic is definitely setting in, and you immediately call the IT help desk. They instantly alert the security team that, hey, we've got an incident. And right here, the narrative shifts from the victim to the defenders. The cavalry has officially arrived. This exact moment is what we call incident response. And that highly structured response, that comes straight from the SOC, the Security Operations Center. This is a dedicated team with strict policies and procedures already in place to handle all sorts of security incidents. In a typical SOC response, the team immediately divides and conquers. One person gets on the phone with you to gather as much context as possible, while another team member starts running these silent, parallel checks on your activity to see exactly what kind of suspicious stuff is happening behind the scenes. Now, we enter the climax of our narrative, the investigation. We are officially hunting for clues. This is where the analyst's mindset totally shifts. We drop that initial adrenaline spike from the alert and adopt a highly methodical, super analytical approach. The trap was sprung, sure, but now we need to reverse engineer exactly how it was built and figure out what it actually stole. To do that, we look for IOCs, or indicators of compromise. Think of these as digital breadcrumbs. They're the specific pieces of evidence that prove a network or device has actually been breached. So the very first thing I do as an analyst investigating your case is digitally isolate your device, whether that's your laptop or your phone, using special administrator software. I completely cut it off from the rest of the company network. That way, the malware infection absolutely cannot spread while I hunt for those IOCs. So what exactly am I hunting for? Well, first, I'm checking your recent logins. I'm looking for unusual IP addresses or trying to see if someone is logging in from a totally different geographic location. Next up, I'll run a deep, thorough scan on your isolated device to hunt for any embedded virus infections. And finally, I'm checking for unusual outbound activity. Like if massive amounts of data are suddenly leaving your laptop, yeah, that is a huge red flag indicating a data breach is currently in progress. Now here is a really fascinating part of the investigation. I need to get my hands on a copy of that original phishing email so I can analyze the malicious PDF you clicked on. And this actually perfectly illustrates a really surprising fact about cybersecurity. It is completely okay to download files, even if they might contain a virus, as long as you do not open them. Seriously, as long as you don't double-click or execute the file, the malicious program is stuck. It can't run. So we can safely download this digital weapon just to study it. But how do we actually study it without, getting infected ourselves? Well, we have to detonate the threat. And we do this safely inside what's called a sandbox environment. Analysts often use specialized platforms like AnyRun for this. A sandbox is essentially a virtual machine that is 100% completely separate from the analyst's actual computer and the main company network. It's basically a digital bomb defusal box. We can safely click the PDF inside it and watch exactly what the virus tries to do. If it's your first time looking at a sandbox dashboard, it can honestly look a bit overwhelming. There is just a massive amount of data firing all at once. The sandbox automatically monitors and logs every single tiny thing that malicious file attempts to do. It's recording all the new network connections, every single IP address it tries to talk to, the DNS requests, and it's triggering automatic threat detection logs. This intense wave of data is exactly what allows us to extract the precise IOCs we need to fight back. Now, what's really interesting here is how clearly the attacker's deception gets exposed. When we ran your PDF in the sandbox, we saw it was a textbook social engineering attempt. The visual design of the fake website perfectly, and I mean perfectly, mimicked a legitimate Microsoft login page. It looked completely real. But think about the actual website link, the URL at the top of the browser. It had absolutely no mention of Microsoft anywhere in it. That is a massive red flag. The sandbox automatically flagged this as a phishing attempt, confirming our suspicions and handing us all the malicious domains and IP connections related to that fake site. Now that we have our definitive list of indicators of compromise, we transition into phase 3, remediation and cleanup. The thrill of the hunt is officially over, and now it's time for the precise, systematic process of neutralizing the threat. We need to clean up the digital environment and make absolutely sure that no one else in the company falls for the exact same trick that you did. Here is how this all builds into our overall defense strategy. Step 1, we block that fake manager's email address from our entire system. Step 2, we scan everyone else's mailbox for that exact same email and delete it before they even have a chance to read it. Step 3, using the data we pulled from our sandbox, we block those malicious website links company-wide. Step 4, we block all those malicious IP addresses directly on our firewall. And finally, Step 5, we immediately force a password reset for your account and ensure multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is turned on. This is absolutely crucial because even if the attacker stole your password, they are completely locked out because they don't have your secondary device. But wait, the analyst's job isn't quite done just yet. We've reached the final step of the incident response: documentation. I know, it sounds a bit boring compared to detonating viruses in a digital sandbox, but I promise you, it is absolutely vital. This paperwork is literally the backbone of a mature security operations center. So, what actually goes into this documentation? Well, we have to maintain strictly required audit logs. We must record exactly when the incident first happened, when it was actually brought to our attention by the help desk, exactly how much time it took us to fully resolve the incident, and, crucially, what strategies we are putting in place to prevent this from ever happening again. Only once all of this is carefully filed away can we officially conclude the incident response and be completely ready for any future audits. So the crucial point to take away from all this is simply this: cybersecurity is so much more than just hacking or that classic stereotype of a hooded figure typing away in a dark room. As this explainer has shown, it's really about structured defense. It relies on vigilant processes to spot impersonations, rapid response to isolate and investigate threats using advanced tools like sandboxes, and careful documentation so we can constantly learn and improve. It's an entire system dedicated to protecting everyday users, like you and me, from digital traps. If you're a beginner looking to protect yourself, your best first steps are super simple. Always use strong, unique passwords, turn on MFA for literally everything you can, and always verify unexpected links before you click. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to master the basics of cybersecurity, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more clear, structured cybersecurity and IT certification guides coming your way. Start learning smarter and take your IT career to the absolute next level with Cert Empire. Check out our other recommended content and go watch the next guide to keep building your skills. Stay safe out there, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.